All right. So I was doing some thinking. It's Saturday on it's Saturday on the 20 something of June date, dude. All right, Saturday 22nd of June. It's somebody I know's birthday today, at least one. Anyway, so I just got divorced recently, and the biggest, well, there's a lot of big. It's not a significant things that came out of that. But one I was thinking about in particular today was the money situation. So with this divorce decree, child support was set right, so I'm no longer paying $525 extra in child support, which means I won't have to borrow from my credit cards, which means I can start actually paying them down instead of paying them to stay alive. Anyway, the other, well, there's a couple of other financial points, but one of the ones I was thinking about today, and I'm trying to just focus on today, but today I thought about one of the lines in the decree says that my ex-wife and I are going to be splitting my daughter's daycare in half, and my daughter is who's 3 is still has at least a year and a half more of daycare before she starts school in before she starts kindergarten in 2021. So anyway, daycare costs $135 right now. In August, that's $135 for one child, for just for my daughter a week. And man, what a hustle! God, they're making a killing in that business. And then it goes up to $140 a week in August of this year. So I'm just gonna go ahead and skip the BS and budget for $140. So, um, like I said, my ex-wife and I are gonna be splitting that bill in half. So that means to me, my portion $70 a week. Well, I was thinking, and this is gonna sound harsh, but anyway, if you know me, um, I don't really like trade words to sound softer. But anyway, um, $70 is my portion of daycare to pay per week for my daughter. I don't want to pay it. Like I don't want to pay $70 a week for childcare. I love the school. I think the school is awesome. But that's so ridiculously high. I mean that's just I can't even $20 a day. There's no way. Anyway, I'm not going to get off into the tangent of prices of childcare. That's a hustle. $70 a week. I don't want to pay it at all, but I have to pay it. The paper says I'm responsible for half. So as far as I'm concerned, that money every week has to come out of my income, right? So what can I do? So the question that I asked myself was, what can I do to make that $70 a week, to earn an additional $70 a week, so I'm not actually paying that bill, right? Me making an additional $70 somewhere is the same as that bill not existing to me in my mind, right? The first thing I thought of was Uber. Now, I've done Uber every year since 2016, but only during football season, which is, college football season, which pretty much start in September and then start in September and then around December, Uber is dead, right? And plus it's got a little saturated too. But anyway, those are pretty much the only months that I can make money. I've tried a couple of summers, and if you know, like the only option there with summertime is driving at night, or else you're gonna have like sweaty people in your car, which makes your car, you know, like sweaty and stuff, and that's not happening. And because they do have clubs here that close at like 2 a.m., 2 or 3 a.m., your nighttime crowd, the best you can hope for is like 5 or 6 strong hours of riding. And again, this is outside of football season, but just like I've tried anyway, it's really really hard to pocket at least $15 an hour on any other time of the year. It's hard. So anyway, I took some numbers from my Uber experience, and I was thinking there was one night where I ran out. I said I'm only going to drive until like my full tank. A full tank is empty. That's how long I drove for, and I think I remember it taking somewhere like 9 hours for me to empty a gas tank. Right. I got my Honda CRV, really good on gas. It holds 14 gallons. Okay, so keep those numbers in mind. 14-gallon tank. Uber driving for 9 hours uses that whole tank. Okay, now that particular night, that was during the college season. I cleared 250 on that night. Honestly, I think that take home for that night was like 253, which is kind of irrelevant, but just to to kind of paint the picture, the money can be made. Now, even if it's on a week, even if I were to drive on the weaker nights, I'm sure if I was to do like a 9 to 3 a.m., I would probably still clear $100. But there's no telling how long it would take me to do that, or even if I could do it in that 6 hour span. So the other thing there too, the time is a factor. So the biggest thing with the car, well, not so much the time is only a factor in me determining whether or not I made $15 an hour. So there's other factors involved, like the big one is I live in Sumter, South Carolina. I have to drive to Columbia, where there's like civilization, and I'll get better traffic with Uber. But it takes me 45 minutes to get to Columbia. So if I drove in Columbia for 6 hours that night, I add on the hour it took for me to get there, and then the hour it took for me to drive back home. I add that into my calculation to see if I made at least $15 an hour, and that's just a mental thing. Honestly, the hourly rate is kind of insignificant. Wear and tear on the car, fuel economy, those are probably more important stats. Which brings me to my next point. Uber. With Uber, I need to make $70 in 1 week. That sounds super easy enough to do. But I have to consider a full tank. Let's say my full tank, $14. I want to subtract whatever I use. I want to subtract that amount from the that would be like that would be like an expense. Like the gas it costs me to do all that damn driving would be an expense, right? So what does that expense look like, and how much do I actually have to make driving Uber in order to actually take home $70 like ahead? So 14-gallon tank, let's say gas is $2.25 right now. Hey Siri, what is 31 times 14? No,
31
no.
times
14 times 2.21.
it's
What did I
30
say? 225. I'm estimating that it's $2.25. 14 times 2.25.
it's 31.5.
Right. Okay, it is 30 something, 31 something. We'll just say 32. Okay. So let's say it takes $32 to fill up my tank. Um, $32 plus 70, that's some easy math, 102. So I actually need, if I chose Uber as my additional money source, I need to make, I need to take home $102 every week in order for my daughter's daycare bill to not be a factor. And that honestly seems very doable. But again, that's kind of based on if it's not dead, if it's not if the nightlife isn't dead during the summer. Alternate means of making $70, an additional $70 a week. Honestly, I can't think of any that's like that could be ongoing. I mean, I could have a yard sale and make and pocket $280, which is like a month's worth of daycare. I could probably maybe pocket $280 worth of selling stuff. I got a camera up there for sale, but anyway, I could sell some stuff. But that's what I was thinking about today, and I'm probably gonna post this as a blog post. What I was thinking about yesterday, by the way, is that I don't always feel like writing journal entries. I don't. I noticed I've skipped a lot of days pretty recently. Actually, this last weekend, I skipped like 2 in a row. And I don't really want to backdate. I don't really want to backdate anymore, which I'm not going to do. That's actually more trouble. But yeah, some days I'm going to just publish a video like this on my personal YouTube. I don't plan to list these on YouTube, so you won't be able to just like scroll through them on my channel. But I will link to these YouTube videos as that like daily post, which I put this one up for tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm trying it out, and plus, my journal, michaelpwright.com. By the way, which if you're watching this video, you're watching it on michaelpwright.com. Which why did I go into a sales pitch about my website? Why am I selling you on my? Anyway, I like the idea. It also lets me kind of just kind of gives me a break from structuring paragraphs and topics and stuff. I like that break every now and then. And the other reason I'm not doing this in social media is because I mean that shit gets buried, especially stories. I mean, stories are only good for 24 hours. That doesn't really help me. This is for me. This is a journal. These every day, like posting something every day is it's a journal, and I want it to work like an archive of my my life. And also, I get to make the rules, man. It's mine. Mix it in there with some videos. Why not? It's mine. Again, so that's what I was thinking about today. Thinking about how much can I make to make certain recurring bills? How much additional income can I make? In what ways can I make additional income to offset some of the recurring bills that I have? I'm also looking out the window at the back of my Honda, and I was just thinking I was just thinking that there's this app that lets you rent your car out to people. And so I still got to do a little more research on it. One of my best friends has used it recently and did like a really big trip. I mean, her story didn't end super awesomely. The car broke down, and the guy had to get it like a rental. But apparently, this business is alive and well of people renting out their cars. There's a market, and I work from home, and there's a lot of days where there's a lot of weeks where I might go like 2 or 3 days, and that car doesn't move from the parking lot, from its spot right there in the parking lot, because either if I have to go somewhere, I'll take a bike or just walk. But anyway, yeah, there are days that the car doesn't move, and I could be making money. I don't know. I don't know what a little SUV like that would be worth. I hope, at least $30 a day. I mean, I hope, maybe more. But anyway, I got to get on there. The app is called something like Tuvo. I just realized that I'm not actually recording with my iPhone, so I could just look and see what the app is called on my. What was it called? Tuvo or something? Tuvo, or it starts with the damn T. Anyway, I'm gonna ask about that. But that may be another option for me. What is the name of the car? Privately owned car renting app. T something. When in doubt, send a text message to your friend. It's 2019, man. It's a good time to be alive. You can be in somebody's ear in like half a second. It's crazy. All right, so yes, I'm currently exploring ways to supplement my income, low stress, maximize the time, and just get some more money. I'm in a hurry, man. I'm really in a hurry to rebuild my credit. Fuck, man. I wasn't smart. Even when I was, even when I had, the ridiculously high child support bill, I still wasn't smart with my money. Still wasn't smart. I was still eating out and stuff like that. I mean, I was still enjoying life like I could afford it. Like I could afford, eating out and stuff like that. So I probably used a lot more from my credit, borrowed a lot more from my credit cards than I should have. And, I don't know. We'll blame it on using it as a medication, just like I did when I gained 40 pounds in the 2 year span. Indulging to be less depressed about things. But anyway, I did some pretty serious damage. Now the debt to income ratio, and then debt to how much you owe total, versus like the total amount of available debt to total amount of available debt in comparison to debt that I owe, I guess in comparison to the balances. I'm over 60%, and per financial counselor, that number should be like less than 30 to look like I'm in a healthy place as far as that particular checkbox goes on your credit. I recently saw my FICO again, and my gosh, dude, it was like a 660 or some shit. It was it was crazy. It dropped down so damn much, and like no BS. In 2016, when I moved into these apartments, it was a 770, and like 774. But anyway, the lady was like, "Oh, I've never actually seen one that high," and I was like, Oh, okay. I didn't know the scale like at all, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's high. And I was just like, ah, okay, just take the compliment. Um, but then I later looked it up and was like, 770 is fucking excellent. That's that's amazing. That's how I was able to argue to give me that 2.49B when I got the Honda, um, which I did. I was pretty excited about that. I still brag about that. Turo is the name of that damn app. Jeez, it's not a good name. I mean, I respect them for being able to lock down something with 4 characters, 2 syllables. It's relatively easy to remember, but that I don't associate that word with with vehicles. So that's why I don't think that's a good branding choice. But you know, to each their own. They didn't ask me, so they didn't need my help on that one. Anyway, all right, that's Saturday, which I'll post on Sunday, and I don't know. I might still write a little journal entry for Sunday. We'll see what happens. Thanks for tuning in.